Suicidal Thoughts by Biggie Smalls is one of the darkest, eerily written songs and stories portrayed in hip-hop history, in my opinion. Biggie introduces a philosophy which I call malevolent truth. On one hand, he tells his story and makes no qualms about the evil, the deceit, the destruction, the betrayal, the harm that he has caused in his life. He makes no excuses. He doesn't attempt to justify it. He simply explains who he was, why it is that he deserves what he has coming, and he makes no attempt to escape the fate. Biggie's approach is in sharp contrast to Tupac, who believes that the ills of society and the social and economic conditions that he was unjustly born at placed him at a position of disenfranchised that bore him unnecessary suffering that caused him pain. Whereas Tupac sees the evil in the world, Biggie sees himself as evil that he brought into the world. Biggie begins the song by simply declaring that when he dies, hell is the rightful place for him to be. Not only is it the rightful place for him, he says it doesn't take much reasoning to deduce that. He speaks of hell as it being the ideal fit, and he doesn't try to escape fate, doesn't try to justify or explain his way or seek mercy. Not only does Biggie rightfully see hell as the place that is ideal for him, Biggie doesn't see himself as a person who would blend in with people in heaven. He feels like if he were in heaven, he would be an outcast. He doesn't view heaven as a reuniting with previous loved ones that are no longer here. He doesn't view heaven as a eternal release from suffering. No, he views heaven as a place that he simply would not fit in. Next is his view of God, which is a radically honest assessment in this very darkened discourse. He sees God as a strict, no-nonsense parent who he won't be able to have his normal concessions and enjoyments of life around. Looking at God as a person who won't allow him to smoke and fornicate and sleep in and do the things that he enjoys. Biggie deduces that heaven would not be a place that he could actually be very comfortable. He wouldn't feel comfortable in heaven, and that's a very dark, candid, and at the same time wickedly truthful expose into the psyche that he's writing this from. And most of the wisest thinkers to ever live have all concluded that a life of hedonism, nihilism ultimately will end in self-destruction. Because if you care about nothing, then ultimately you don't care about yourself. And Biggie has reached his level of self-destruction. And he's sharing, that's where I just wants to slit his wrist and end this. And he said he shares how his will is getting weak. So his will to power has been compromised. All of these things have morally caught up with Biggie to actually begin his implosion, and that's what he's explaining throughout Suicidal Thoughts. Again, taking full responsibility. No blame is being given to anybody. No one who Biggie speaks about harming in the song, does he justify with something that they did? Does he speak on any ill done to him? The song is exclusively about the pain and the evil that he's placing out, and that's why I say that the malevolence has a level of truth to it. Finally, after 2 minutes in, we reach a point where it appears that Biggie is about to slip from his full accountability and just speak on some things that he's irritated with. He's sick of people lying to him. He's sick of women hawking, but right when he starts that, he decides that he's sick of talking and ends the song. I believe what Biggie did was give a transparent glimpse into the inner torment that a life of evil, and gives us a transparent, vulnerable glimpse into the inner suffering.